Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope you are doing well. So in this video we are going to learn about how to prevent duplicate records being inserted from data loader in Salesforce. So for example, while creating the new records using the data loader, sometimes in the external file we may have some duplicate records or duplicate fields and we don't want to add those fields again in the Salesforce database. So for those records, how we can prevent them from being inserted, that we will understand in this video. So in this video, we will deep dive into what are the duplicate record in Salesforce. After that, I will explain what are the different ways to prevent the duplicate record, and then I will explain how to prevent duplicate records from being inserted using the data loader in Salesforce. So for that, watch the video till end and don't miss any step. And if you are new to our channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. So whenever we post a new video, you will get an update. Now, before moving ahead, here is very big announcement for the Salesforce geekers. We recently launched a Salesforce admin training course. In that, we explain every concept in a simple and easy to understand way, so you can learn step by step with the confidence. So this course is for beginner to the advanced level. In that we have covered 10 modules. You will get lifetime access. So here you can see, here we have covered 10 modules: introduction to Salesforce, Salesforce navigation and setup. After that, Salesforce user management. Then we also have covered Salesforce apps, object and tabs. After that, the Salesforce fields and formulas, UI customization in Salesforce. After that, Salesforce reports and dashboards, Salesforce data management and Salesforce flows. So in this course, we have covered everything from beginner to the advanced level. So if you are serious about launching your Salesforce career, check out the course now. We have provided the link in the description box. You can go through it. Now let's jump to the topic. First, we will understand what is duplicate records in Salesforce. So the preventing duplicate record means avoiding the same values from being inserted from the external file to the Salesforce org objects. Now how we can prevent that? If your records have unique identifier like email, employee IDs or any custom field marked as an external ID, then we can use the upsert operation instead of the insert operation using data loader. So what is the upsert operation? So using the upsert operation, we can update the existing records from the Salesforce org, and if the records is not present in the Salesforce org, the new record will get created from the external file or external source in the Salesforce org. Now for example, here you can see, here we have two tables. The first table is the external file and the second one table is the records from the Salesforce org, because in that we have record IDs available. And in the Salesforce org and external file, here you can see, here we have one email fields. Now from the Salesforce org email field, we have marked as an external ID. That means when we perform the upsert operation, at that time this email field used as a unique identifier. So for example, from the external file, here you can see, here we have ID1, name ABC and then email abc@gmail.com. Now while performing the upsert operation, this email field that we marked as an external ID, those field will get checked from the external file and the Salesforce file. That means email matches the value, then the record will get updated. In this example, from the Salesforce record, we have XYZ name. This name will get replaced with the external file which is ABC. And then in the second ID, here we have PQR name and then pqr@gmail.com. But in the Salesforce records, here you can see, here we don't have that record. That means while mapping the values, at that time in the Salesforce org, we don't get the pqr@gmail.com value. That means this record will get newly created. Now let's moving ahead. There we will understand what is external ID in Salesforce. The external ID in Salesforce is any custom field with the external ID attribute checked, meaning it contains unique record identifiers from a system outside of Salesforce. That means whenever any user creates the new field on any Salesforce object, that one is the custom field, and while creating the custom field, there we have one checkbox called external ID. If we check that checkbox, that means that particular ID is external ID in Salesforce. Now why we use the external ID? That means it contains unique record identifier from a system outside of Salesforce. That means here you can see, in the first table we have the external file. That means this file is not in Salesforce. And after that, in another table we have one table. These records we have available in the Salesforce org. Now for example, from the second table, records are from the lead object. Now whenever we want to update or upsert the record from the external system to the Salesforce org, at that time we need a record ID, which is the unique ID, to map the records from the Salesforce org and the external table or external file. Now using that unique ID, whatever records we want to update, those records will get updated and if any record ID not matches with the external file, at that time in the Salesforce org, new record will be get created. Now in this example here you can see in the first table or in the external file, here we don't have the unique ID, that means the record ID from the Salesforce, and we want to perform the update or the upsert operation in the Salesforce. Now this time instead of the record ID, the external ID come to the picture. So from the Salesforce org fields, we can make this email field as an external ID, and then whenever we update or upsert the records, at that time the email field map with each other, and if the email will matches, then it will replace the value from the external system to the Salesforce org. For example, here you can see in the first table, here we have ID as 1, then name as XYZ, and then email as a abc@gmail.com. Now while performing the update or upsert operation, what will happen? So here we make the email field as external field. That means this external file email field will matches in the inside the Salesforce org email field, and here you can see here we have abc@gmail.com, and in the Salesforce org also here we have abc@gmail.com. Now the name from the external file, here you can see XYZ. If the email matches, then this ABC name from the lead object replace with the XYZ name with the external file. And here you can see in the second row, here we have pqr@gmail.com, and then in the inside of the Salesforce org, here we don't have the pqr@gmail.com. That means for this email, the new record will get created and the record ID from the Salesforce org will get assigned for created record. So in this way, the external ID works in the Salesforce. Now let me show you how we can create the external ID in Salesforce. For that, let's jump to the Salesforce org. Now here I am searching for the employees object. Here I am opening this object. After that, click on fields and relationship. So here I want to make the email field as external field. So here I am searching for email. Here you can see here we have email. Click on this drop down, click on edit. And now as you scroll down, here you can see here we have one option, external ID. That means if you check this checkbox, this field will be external ID in employee object. So here I am checking this checkbox and then click on save. Now here you can see in the email field, here we have email, external ID and the unique field. So in this way, while creating the field or at the time of editing the field, you can make the field as external field in Salesforce. Now let me navigate to the PPT. Now let's understand the properties of external field. Here you can see the purpose, link Salesforce record to corresponding records in external system. So I have explained in this example how we can import the records from the external file or the external system to the Salesforce org using the external ID. After that, here we have limitation. Only these fields we can make as external field or external ID in the Salesforce. In that we have custom text, number field, then email fields. Only these fields we can make as an external ID field in Salesforce. After that, this can be set as unique to ensure no duplicates values within the field. That means when you make the text, number or email field as an external field, that time we cannot store the duplicate values in that particular field. After that, one more limitation is there. An object can have maximum of 7 external ID fields. That means in that we can have unique or the external IDs. For example, on particular object, we have 4 unique fields. That means on that object, we can only create the 3 external ID fields. And another example, if you have 5 external IDs, then we can make only 2 unique fields on that particular object. Now let's see how we can use the upsert operation using the data loader and how we can use the external ID field to upsert the data. So here I have created one file. Here you can see, here I have created one file. Now in the employee object, we have made the email field as an external field. That means when we upsert this file in the Salesforce org using the data loader, the external file email field with the map the values of the internal or the Salesforce email field, and if the value will matches, then the record will get updated, and if the value will not match, then the new record will get created. Now here you can see the first 3 emails. These emails are similar from the employee object. Here you can see first, second and third email. Now these 3 emails are the same with the external file. That means for these 3 emails record, value of the other fields will get updated. And for these 2 emails, the new record will be get created. So let me update the list view for this object. Here I am changing recently to the all list view. Here I am changing the columns which I want to display. Email name, stage, domain, email. And then joining date. And then date of birth. Here I am saving this one. Now here you can see employee name, stage, domain, email, joining date and date of birth. Now let's import the external file to the Salesforce org. For that, here I am opening the data loader. So here we are using the upsert operation. For that, select the upsert operation. And now select the object in which you want to upsert the data. So here I am searching for employees. And then import the CSV file. So here I am selecting the file that I have created. And then click on next. Now after the initialization, here you can see the CSV file has 5 rows. Let's check the rows. So here you can see we have 6 records. That means the first one is the name of column. Now click on OK. And now here we need to select to match the employees, use either the ID field or external ID field. So here we have made the email as an external ID field on the employee object. So here I am selecting email and then click on next. After that, this one is the optional. Here you will see the related object, and if there is any value of this related records, you can select the lookup field over here. So here currently I don't have any lookup field. For that, here I am clicking on next. Now here we need to map the CSV column header with the Salesforce object field name. For that, click on this create or edit map. And now as you click on this auto match, some fields will get automatically matched. So here all fields get automatically matched because in the CSV column and the field name we have kept the same names. For that, the all fields get automatically matched. After that, click on OK button. Again click on next and then click on finish. So here we have warning. Here we need to click on S to proceed. And now here you can see there were 3 successful upsert and 2 errors. So here we have 2 errors. We need to check that. For that, click on this view errors. And here we have error because of for some fields we missed the salary, which is the required field from the Salesforce object. So for that we got this error. Let me close this one. Click on OK. Let me minimize the data loader. Before refreshing the page, here you can see. Now before refreshing the page, here you can see. So let me open the Excel file. And now here you can see for this first email, in Salesforce org we have 6th record of that email. And in the external file, we have domain as a SharePoint. But in the employee object, we have domain as a Salesforce. Then in the external system, the stage is experienced. But in the Salesforce, we have as a fresher. Now the upsert operation has been successfully done. There we have 3 successful and 2 errors. Now as I refresh the page, for this record, the value of domain, stage and the employee name will be get changed. So let me refresh the page. And here you can see. So this was that email. The domain has been changed from Salesforce to the SharePoint. Then stage also has been changed from fresher to experienced, and the employee name also has been successfully changed. So in this way, we can use the external ID to upload the data from the external system to the Salesforce org. I hope whatever I explained you understood that. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so whenever you post a new video, you will get an update. Thank you.